You got to do something. Well, you don't know, man. She'll go crazy. Let her go crazy. I'll leave you anyway because you're going so far in debt. So you say, you know what, honey? I love you. I'm committed to this family. I am part of the problem with you. But we need to do something about these finances. I need to rectify this. I've come up with a plan. I want your input. I want to hear what you have to say. But we can't keep doing this. We just can't. I refuse, as the head of this home, to keep doing this. And so you come up with the plan. You make some hard decisions. I have women come into my office, and the guy has finally said, okay, that's it. You're not using the checkbook. She says, he's a control freak. I say, well, no, it only feels that way because you're so out of control. See, you know, the wife's driving the car down the road and is swerving. We're about to go off the cliff. So the guy's in the passenger side. He grabs the wheel. And she goes, you're a control freak. We were going to die. Call me whatever you want. I'm not dying here. And as the man, I must make a decision. What are you going to do about it? I don't know is not acceptable in any situation. The best you can do, or the least you can do, is say, I don't know, but I'll get help. I don't know and just fall on the ground isn't doing anybody any good. I don't know, but I'll get some help. So you have number one, what's the amount of your debt? What's your monthly income? What is your monthly expenditures and obligations? Where are you needlessly spending money? And then how aggressive are you going to be at trying to pay off that debt? And then, do you have self-control to not go further in debt? And now we need a plan. No, I want a plan in writing. See, because when you write it down, it tells me you thought it through. And you got your wife's input, and you're working together as a team, because maybe it's your checkbook she needs to take. Maybe you're the one out of control. So, now, concerning your job. If you're not satisfied with your job, your present income, then maybe it's time for a career change. Sometimes the best things I've ever seen happen is a guy get fired. We have a guy in our church, and I know this is an extreme example, but it's just an illustration. We have a guy in our church who was a knockdown drunk. He worked for a sort of a FedEx kind of a company where they shipped packages and stuff like that, and he was a drunk, but he was a functioning drunk. He got his work done. Well, he got fired from the job. Came up with an idea. I'm going to ship stuff after hours. Yeah. He starts a little company, him and his wife. How many years has it been, John? 28 years. His company now makes $50 million a year. John works for him. Best thing ever happened is he got fired. So he could think and create and started a company that's worth $50 million a year. Now, that ain't going to happen for you tomorrow. All right? Don't go in and say, I quit. You don't leave your post until you have another one stuck in the ground. Don't go home today and tell your wife, I'm quitting my job, Pastor said. No, I didn't. I'm saying maybe you need a career change. Can your wife go to work? My wife worked with me in the ministry. She doesn't want to do that. It's my thing. It's my props. I get all the accolades. She worked there. She didn't want to. She wants to be a nurse. She's always wanted to be a nurse. So guess what? I put her in school to be a nurse. She just got accepted in her third year now at Samuel Merritt College. 40 out of 400 students, and she got accepted. She's going to be a nurse. That's great. And you know what? She's going to make some good money as a nurse. Yeah. So I had to eat my dream of my wife being right there serving with me every day for the sake of letting her life be lived too. I lay down my life, let her live her life. The marriage is strong. She's going to make a ton of money. I'm a happy man. Even if you allow your wife to control the checkbook because she's better at it, you can't let her control it because you're no good at it. That doesn't fly. You must still know how to handle finances. You must show self-control. I'm trying to teach my boys how to handle money. You know, my oldest boy's got a girlfriend now, real nice Christian girl, Christian family in our church. But you know, for Christmas he had to buy her something. So I made him work for it. And he couldn't believe he spent it all that quick. I said, it's tough, isn't it? You work all day for that much money and then you spend it that fast? Now are you understanding, Mike, the value of something? It's hard work, man. It's hard work. So you have to be able to do it. And by the way, just because you make more money on a new job doesn't mean you've solved your financial problems. Usually, and I write all about this in the book, when you make more money, you adjust your spending up. You buy the new car, you get the new clothes, you join the country club, you buy the boat, you go on that vacation, and all of a sudden now you've filled in all the spots for the new dollars that are coming in. And you're in the same boat, only worse because your debt will magnify now. So it's not about making more money necessarily. It's about, can you handle the little? Jesus said, he that is faithful in the little things, I will give you much. And so we must get a grip on handling money. Single men, you got to get a grip now, because one day you're going to want to get married. And it used to be in our culture that the husband or the wife's dad paid for the wedding. Ha, ha, ha. And most women deserve a nice wedding, and most of them want one. I try to talk them out of it. Because I used to get a young couple in their early 20s that just got out of college, they're trying to do life together, and she wants a $15,000 wedding. And I say, why start your marriage off in debt? Why don't you get married now, a small wedding, and then make a commitment together that you'll have a big, big celebration a year or two from now when you saved up some money. Half of them do that. And so you single guys, I'm telling you, the responsibility of taking on a family financially is huge. And there doesn't look like a whole lot of lottery winners in here. And so you're going to have to learn how to handle money. Now listen to this. Here's the great blessing. He that findeth a wife finds a good thing and has found favor with God. I banked on that scripture. Remember about one of the prayers is pray God's word back to him? Well, when I got married to my wife, Tisha, 18 years ago, I said, Lord, you said he that finds a wife finds a good thing, and I find favor with you. I need your favor because I don't know how to take care of a wife and a family. I was a kid. And I said, I need your blessing. We go out, we get married on a Saturday, August 16th. Sunday, August 17th, my best man took me to a bed and breakfast brunch, champagne brunch, you know those champagne brunches. And so we go there, and I have to use the bathroom. So I go into the bathroom, and I had a painting handyman carpentry company. And I had 5 guys working for me. I did pretty good for a small guy from Oakland, golfer, right? And so I go into the bathroom, and I noticed all the bathrooms were just chip and paint. I'm going to the bathroom on next day after my wedding. And I come out, and I go to the manager, and I say, hey, man, you guys need a paint job in there. He says, yeah, why don't you give me a card? In the next 2 months, I got $10,000 worth of business from the guy. Then the lady, she was very wealthy, Grandma's Bed and Breakfast Inns in Berkeley. She bought a 1-story level ranch house in Orinda, tore it down to the ground, and built a 16-room mansion on the spot. I got the entire painting contract just from going to the bathroom in her little restaurant. And I took that as God saying, I told you if you took one of my daughters, I'd have favor on your life. So don't tell me you can't afford to get married. Yeah, you need to get your finances together, but you got to trust God too. It's the will of God that you not be alone unless He's given you the gift of celibacy. And some of you may have the gift, you just don't want it. There's a great book out. You'll read about it in my book. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's not a spiritual book at all. It's just a financial book. It's a story about this real rich man in Babylon. He had amassed all this wealth, and the king of Babylon said, listen, teach my people how to become wealthy. He said, okay, I'll teach your people how to become wealthy. Here's the principle. Live on 90% of your income, save the other 10%. If you make $30,000 a year and you save 10%, how much is that? $3,000 a year. In 10 years, how much is it? $30,000, not counting interest. So the key is, learn to save money, it says in Proverbs, little by little. When you make your paycheck, just be disciplined to stick some away. Keep sticking it away. Agree with your wife. Of course, if you make more, you have more to stick away. What are you sticking it away for? Okay? So finances is something. You can't have the oil and wine mentality. You can't just keep spending and doing all the rich stuff and then expect to have a lot of money if you can't afford to. You don't need to follow the Joneses. You know who the Joneses are? They're a phantom group of people in your mind who you think has everything you want. And they don't even exist. And if they do, they're in debt. follow biblical principles, and you must, final point, you must get a budget. That means write it down on paper. In my book, I have a whole section for a budget. I've done this. I have people walk in, I say, okay, tell me how much you take in, show me all your expenditures, and we add up the bottom line. I had a guy come in, he was one of the guitarists on my tribe, on the band, and he got to line 3 and threw the paper up in the air, and he said, I can't do this. You have to. It's not going away on its own. You're responsible.